Hey folks, this is Mary. Welcome back to my channel. This is day 6 of 30 Blue Inks 30 Days. And our ink for today is Diamine Florida Blue. Now I'm very embarrassed to say that I bought a sample of this, one of the first samples I ever bought from Goulet Pens, and I bought the sample and I put it in my little sample rack and I never did anything with it. So a month or two ago, I was looking at inks on eBay, and I found this Diamine Florida Blue, and I said, oh, I've never used that one before, let me try that. So I bought a little 30 milliliter ounce of it. I'm terrible about buying bottles of inks without buying a sample first, but I did not remember that I had already bought a sample of this before that I had never used. So anyway, I unwrapped the package and I was going through my samples of blue ink, getting ready for my May month of blue samples, when I found this one. And I thought, I've seen that before. And then I found the bottle. So be warned, ink lovers, it is very easy to buy duplicates, at least for me. It's happened more than once. And perhaps I will do a video of my shopping shame of all of the samples that I have then bought bottles of and didn't even realize it. But moving on for today's sample, our pen for today is a TWSBI Eco in the translucent purple, and this has a fine nib. I'm not a terrible lover of fine nibs, but I do have several other TWSBIs with a medium nib, so I wanted to try the fine nib. And it's not bad. It's not my favorite, but it's not bad. So, let's see, make sure you guys can see what I'm doing. Alright, and now for our swatch, and I will save this little sample, this little unused sample. Perhaps I can trade that with a pen friend at some point. And this is going on nice and wet. And I'll do my little drip. Ooh, and he's dripping all over the place. It's weird, there's kind of a hole in the middle there. I don't know what happened. Maybe I touched the paper and the oil from my hands is making it resist. But it's always interesting to see how the ink acts on these little cards. So we will set him aside to dry a little bit. And I have written this one down in my daily journal. Let's see. Just want to make sure you guys can see what I'm doing. This is actually an Exceed notebook from Walmart. I really like these notebooks. They're very affordable and the ink is great with fountain pens. There's a little bit of ghosting. I think this is the 78 GSM paper. They also make it in the 100 GSM, but I've never tried that because I'm not really crazy about the really thick paper. But I've tried many different inks on this Exceed paper, and I've never, well, I shouldn't say never. I can hardly remember a time that an ink bled through. But there's some ghosting, but I don't mind that at all. And I'm just wondering if maybe I should do a longer writing sample on this Exceed paper so we can all see what it looks like. Of course, I write in this journal with the pens, and I see what the ink looks like on the paper with a longer writing sample. Alright, so I got a phone call, excuse me. But anyway, I was just wondering if I should do a longer writing sample on this paper. So if you would be interested to see that, let me know. So now we are moving on to the Clairefontaine paper. And rearrange things a little bit. And I know with these Ecos you can post the cap To me, that seems to make the pen very long. So, are you a poster or are you not a poster? I guess I generally like to post my pens just to keep track of the cap, but for comfort and weight, I don't like to post my pen. Oops, I was trying not to get that under the notebook. Well, let's see how much ink I got on the notebook. I think it's okay. All right. All right, had some camera shaking going on there. Hopefully that wasn't too bad for you. So, that is a nice medium blue. And I pulled out some of my blue cards here so we could do a little comparison. Let's look at our swatch card. So this seems to be a very wet ink. All right, well, let's look at some of our comparisons here. Now, here is our friend Crystal Planet again. I've talked about him several times. And when I was looking for comparison cards for this one, I was only looking at my turquoise cards. I didn't think about any of the more traditional blue cards, but that one does actually look pretty close to Florida Blue. Here is Sailor Soughton. And this one has some nice red sheen to it. It's a nice color. Here is Organic Studio Nitrogen. That's a darker color with a lot more sheen and a different tone to it. So I don't think that one is a close match at all. This is Private Reserve Naples Blue. If you like blues that sheen, you should definitely check out Private Reserve Naples Blue because it sheens like crazy. I would even say that it sheens as much as Organic Studio Nitrogen. These two are, well, Organic Studio Nitrogen is known for being a heavy sheener, but Naples Blue I don't think is known as well. But they're very similar in color, and they both have lots of sheen. But again, pretty far away from our ink of the day, Florida Blue. Now here's Colorverse Supernova. This is one of my favorite blues. It's just a beautiful color, and it has just enough sheen for me. But he's kind of a lighter blue, not really the same tone. Here's Diamine Asa Blue. Again, a different tone to the Florida Blue. And here's Tasha AO Blue. That one's more of a royal blue, I guess, a darker blue, again with lots of sheen. Now this one you might not have heard of. I just recently found out about this ink. This is Noodler's Baltimore Canyon Blue, and there aren't a lot of Noodler's inks that sheen, but this one does. It's a beautiful deep blue color, and it does have some sheen to it. But again, I would not say that's very close to our ink of the day. Here's Private Reserve Lake Placid Blue, and that one's a little bit closer, a little more purple. Let's see. Here's Private Reserve Cosmic Cobalt. I do have a lot of Private Reserve inks. My local pen shop, the Norfolk Stationery, they usually have a nice selection of Private Reserve inks. And there's another ink shop that's a bit farther away from me. Oh dear, I've forgotten their name. But they usually have a very large selection of Private Reserve inks. So they're the ones that I can buy locally, so I have lots and lots of those. But, oops. Pardon me, I just bumped the camera. There's Pilot Iroshizuku Asagao. This is another one of my favorite colors, but again, more of a purpley blue. And finally, I've got Diamine Sargasso C, and that's more in that purpley shade with a lot of sheen. So, I don't know, what do you think? Lake Placid Blue, Sailor Soughton. This might be a unique blue in my collection. Just a nice straight blue, no sheen, no shimmer. I haven't noticed a lot of shading with it either, but it's just a nice everyday blue. But it's very pretty. I'm a blue lover, so I love these kinds of inks. Alright, so that is our ink of the day, and I'm going to get out my journal and do some writing. And I hope you enjoy your pens and inks today, and hopefully I will see you tomorrow. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you would like to see more videos like this, please consider subscribing. Thanks so much. Take care. Bye-bye.